Be right with y'all. Hmm. Why is it so big? No sense. Rhonda must have been messing with them spreadsheets. She makes them big like that. Show me this one. Alrighty then. Now I'm ready to go. This is Council of Terra, an emergency calling session, and this is the summary of that session. Because I did not record it, because all of it I didn't see was going to be any business of the surface as to what Terra is going to do and decides. Not all of it entirely, you see. I referenced some government actions that have been taken recently in a video this morning. I think it was this morning. Yeah. It was about 10 something this morning, 10:15, 10:20 this morning. It's the only other video I made today. And I called an emergency session thinking that we was going to have to discuss it and take a long time doing so. We did not have to take a long time doing so. I made some comments. I made some references about things that had happened. Those things were confirmed by Grandmother Lakma, who is also on the Defense of Terra now. She is the commander of the Defense of Terra until such time as I'm needed to assist, because I am the co-leader on the Defense of Terra. As a council leader, I am co-leader. And on the Council of Terra, she is a co-leader and I am the leader. And Grandmother Per se is co-leader also on the Council of Terra at this moment. She has potential to be more. So, what was voted upon in the Council of Terra, just like before when we were doing the battles of the negatives in the solar system and on the surface of Terra, the galactics that were here, now it's time to assist in the speeding up of collapse of governments on the surface of Terra. The sooner they fall, the sooner it all collapses, the sooner Terra can be up on the surface with the restoration of the energy grid, and the sooner you can achieve the benefits, not achieve, the sooner you can begin acquiring the benefits of being part of a Terran civilization. Right now, you do not. You haven't even earned it yet. But you will. You will. All Terrans do. So this is going to begin tonight. They're going to be seeking new energy weapons, any kind of advanced weaponry that the surface governments have, either in various departments, military, black ops, etc., and etc., and etc., around the world. I've ordered that no surface human is allowed off planet. Going upstairs. I don't care who. I don't care what. I don't care how many. I don't care where their destination is. You are capped at the Earth's outer atmosphere. You can fly up all you want, but you exceed that, you will be disintegrated. You will be option one. You will be blinked in a millisecond. Doubt it? Try it. You need to know that the orbit of the Earth includes that where most of our satellites are. Okay? And if necessary, we'll start taking out military satellites if they act as weapons. Might take them out anyway. That's not my call right now, is to win. I've already opened it up that Lockma has it as within the DOT. The Defense of Terra and the Defense Forces is the personnel that act as guardsmen of Terra. Do as you see fit, and they will. No questions asked. I won't ask no questions, and neither will they. And I'm not going after numbers this time because it's an all situation. It's not a partial. It's not how many are there. It's all of them. So I don't care about numbers. Not this time, like I did before. I'm not doing that and getting into that game of how many are gone, how many remain, what weapons was taken out, where were these weapons, all that shit. I'm not concerned with that. It's all got to be gone. There's no way around it. Not with all the warnings and things that have been given. Not knowing what we've already done because they know. They've borne witness to it. The governments and military have borne witness to what we do. They may deny it all they want. You hear about galactics and aliens and unidentified shit, but they know. And that's why there's no compromises with anything on the surface right now, because you're not adhesive as a united people. You will be, but you're not yet. But you will be. When there's no more governments and no more militaries to interfere, you will be. The laws of Terra will exist on the surface. You might as well go download it to your phone or your laptop or whatever is in the link in the description. Download it, read it, get used to it. Share it, print it, and share it if you want. I don't care. Share it to your family and friends because you're going to have to follow it. To not follow it is to not participate. To not participate is to not gain any benefits thereof. That's your call, your choice, but you'll probably be isolated for life. You'll be cut off because you won't get a second choice, a second question, etc. You won't get it. And I do mean if you are ostracized, when terror comes to the surface, you don't get but one shot. If anybody asks you and you say no, beware. Are they involved with terror or not? Because if you tell a terror no, you will never get that question again. It doesn't matter what happens to you after that point. You are of no concern. I talked to a whole bunch of people in council today and asked their opinions about certain geographical locations on the surface. I got the information I requested, and these matters will be dealt with harshly in the coming days and weeks, because it may take weeks. I haven't specified which places I want watched, which places I want things stopped. And I don't give a damn if it ends up taking out these small countries. I don't give a fuck. I do not give a fuck. Not a single fuck will I give. You've been playing this shit of negative for far too long. It's time to pay up for your choices. If you volunteered for a military, I recommend that you drop that shit and walk away. If you stay, you will be option one and gone. It's your choice. Do what you choose. Pay for what you choose. Just like you choose a car or what you're going to eat tonight, you choose to serve in the military of the negatives, you're going to pay for that. That's right. You're going to pay for that. If you promote online that you support something that's negative on this planet, it's probably already been noted by the Terrans, because that's what they've been doing for decades on the internet. They can receive it. They understand it. They know where they've already figured out where you are through technology, much more advanced than ours. They know where you are, where to find you. They probably know your schedule, your daily routines. If the government knows your daily routines, you can bet your ass Terra knows your daily routines and that of all the government. TikTok. If you support the negative shit on this planet, TikTok. That clock is clocking down to the last minute on the stopwatch. It's already started ticking. It started ticking at 6 o'clock this evening. And it will continue to tick until there's no more negative individuals on this planet. I asked for a count in the council of what I just said. I said, if you disagree, raise your hand, thinking somebody's plural would. There was not a single no hand raised, not a single one. They understand the need to reduce and eliminate and eradicate the negative from this planet. And it'll happen. If you choose not to, you're pretty much going to eliminate your own self in time, because you'll be cut off. You won't receive any medical aid. You won't receive any food, any other supplies. And when they do finally cut off the energy grid as we know it, to adapt it to the Terran energy grid, you won't be a part of that neither. You'll be living like you're in the 1800s with no electrical power as you know it today. If you want to prepare for that, you're on your own. Do so. By all means, go ahead. Because once you see how cut off you are, you will probably try and attempt to become positive. But you see, the problem is you already said no. If you've already decided that you're not going to participate, by the time an individual asks you, and it's noted by Terra, whether it was online or you were scanned, and it was noted in the records of Terra, it doesn't make a fuck what you change your mind as. It will not make a fuck. I can tell you personally, I've done the last worrying about individuals' choices on the surface of Terra now. I've been done with it for about a month. About a good month. That I am no longer be concerned of what happens to you because of your choices. You see. You've only got one choice left to make. Be positive enough to participate, or you choose to be negative enough to not, which pretty much has a price. And eventually, you're going to have to pay that price. And there ain't nothing can stop it. Not nothing on this planet. Not nothing on any other planet, for that matter, is going to stop it. That's the whole point of everything that's been going on the last 2 years, is to stop negativity. If you don't think you are, it doesn't matter. If you don't think you are, there's a more chance that you are. All you have to do is participate in one of those previously mentioned groups and shit that I have talked about over the last 2 years. I'm not going to mention that tonight neither. I'm done with that. The eradication has begun. Tonight at 6 o'clock. It's begun. How long it takes, I don't know. I don't care. It's happening. It is a happening for the surface of Terra. Some things are going to get worse as they remove negatives. It's going to happen. Which ones are removed first, you may not know. This one needs to be removed. That one needs to be removed. We're not playing that game. Terra already has a priority line. So we're not playing that neither. They'll remove who they see fit as negative in the order and manner in which they so choose. They've already got a plan. And I'm not talking some political plan that they know damn good and well they can't achieve. Like politics in the U.S. Well, I put it into words if you can't achieve it. Wasting time. You don't have time. If there's anything the surface doesn't have anymore, it is time to continue the same old shit. Your time's up. Your time is up. I don't care if you listen. I don't care if you share it. I don't care what you do. I do not care. Terror is my priority. It has been put in front of me as a duty and responsibility that I can no longer even consider moving away from. So get you a download copy of The Laws of Terra and start living that way. Your choice not to, whether you come to the videos or you hear about it, whatever, it is your responsibility to get it. It is your responsibility to find out what it is and to start living it the best of your ability. That's just how simple that is. It's that simple. It's just that simple. There's nothing hard about any of it. The hardness is going to be your choice to make it difficult. When we have the during, it will be difficult. I imagine so. You can't have something come in all nice and pretty and bow-tied wrapped in a nice present for you to unwrap. That's not how life works. And those kinds of times are pretty much going to be done soon anyway. Terra doesn't care about your cultural bullshit on the surface that you have perpetuated out of sheer negativity. They don't care. When they were here, there was no such thing. Why would they be concerned about it now? Boom, chakalaka. If you want to hold certain ceremonies and shit, do it within your home. Don't step outside and discuss it. Somebody might nail your ass with it. It's a negative. I'm serious as all get out. If you downloaded the laws, you'll see there is no more country or geographical patriotism. It's a false ideology anyway. Your patriotism, the only patriotism you should ever think you have is to this entire planet. not some bullshit man-made country or culture. Simple as that. It's that simple. Who are you? If you are a Terran or striving to be a Terran, you're of this planet. You're not of a country. That's bullshit. You could be born anywhere on this planet and you're a Terran. Man-made surface areas are obsolete at best, worthless at usually. Has no meaning to anybody but those that want to be in control of you, the population inside that area. It's going away. That's an old negative way of thinking that is going away. Currency is going away. I don't care where you are, where you live, how you do things, it's going away. You won't have to worry about currency or debt or bills. You won't have to worry about bills anymore. There's a way around that. This always existed, and that's what we're going to. It doesn't matter what anybody on the surface thinks it is. That's impossible. Funny thing, it's been being done for millions of years. We can't get any one system to last more than a couple hundred years or 1,000 with variations within 1,000 years of, say, the Roman Empire or the Chinese Empire or some other uh, considered inheritance that you think you have from some country or some government or some culture, some bullshit. It's not even a blinking eye in the history of this planet. It doesn't matter to them, and they're going to ensure it doesn't matter to us eventually. Us as surface humans. It's all based in bullshit and predatory actions and control and manipulation. And the more I learn, the more bullshit it is. Because it doesn't deserve your loyalty. It doesn't deserve your participation no more than you have to at this moment in time until everything changes. It's not going to be an overnight change. Nothing is. It's not like we're going to cut the power off at 12 o'clock and at 12:01 you're going to be on Terran power just that easy. It doesn't happen that way. Nothing happens that way. Some things take 100 years to put in effect. They've been working on this for a couple thousand years, getting ready, getting prepared, storing up items and communications and devices and shit just for surface use, stored, waiting on this day, this to come, when they can bring communication devices and education devices. It doesn't matter what language you speak into it. Excuse me. It knows them all. It can translate anything you speak, anything a Terran speaks or mentally sends to this device. But it had to be made where it would be verbal for surface human use in all languages. Ta-da. They're already made to be dispersed if you make it through to the other side. That's the thing. How long does that take? I don't know the exact date. I don't know the time. I just know we're closer every day. And I'm not talking closer every day as in you're dying every day. I'm talking closer every day as in probably, I would hope it's a few months, but it might be a few more than that before you realize everything you knew is gone. Whatever you knew, whatever you thought was right, whatever, it's gone. You want to talk about a rude awakening? You've not had a rude awakening yet. But the negatives are going to have a very rude awakening if they have time to awaken to what's coming. It's not like this woke shit everybody talks about, where you think you know something that you do not know. It's not like the other side either, where they're trying to impose their will upon other people. That's like a key thing of being a negative, isn't it? Control and manipulation of people to make them do what you want. That is surely going away. Along with all these other things that I talk about are not going to be hanging around. You know? Now I'm getting tired. My travel view for this emergency council session was about 30 minutes. That's all it took. But the anxiety I faced leading up to it was another story. I had all day to build up concern. What are they going to say when I say it's time? When I said it's time, and I said it in a manner which means we start today, tonight, this evening, putting those plans into action. These are totally separate plans from the reintegration. This is a totally separate plan from the restoration of the energy grid. This is a total plan about the collapse of the surface so that you will be prepared for what is coming after. Some might say this could be called the during, where it's just starting. The first few minutes and hours and shit such as that, you know. You could say that. I'm not sure I'll say that just yet, but it's you're within a day of it starting, of whenever they start. It's on lock when it started, whether it's started at 6 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the morning, makes no difference to me. It started. So yeah, I guess you could say this is the first hours since it is 7:17 now, and the meeting was at 6. It started the during. The part of during where the collapses must happen. How long that takes, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. But it's taking place. And I've been working for that for 3 years. Depending on how you look at it, I've been looking at it for at least 3 years. And now it's time. Tick, tick, tick. Pretty soon I won't even have to say tick-tock anymore. Because that clock will be done stopped if it run out. What if I was to say, with every tick, there might be anywhere from hundreds to thousands of negatives gone. Every tick. 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 Starting at governments and religions and CEOs and such of corporations that have gotten where they gotten through being predatory. Tick. 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 You need to think about that and how this means absolutely nothing to life on this planet. Life cannot be negative. It doesn't make sense. It isn't rational to become what the surface has become. Tick. For it to have gotten the advantage of being in the point of making you assume that this is the normal now. Tick. Tick. If every time I said it, I knew we would lose 1,000 negatives, I'd sit here and say it for the next 100 days. And that's probably only a drop in the bucket to what needs to be gone. Dropping a bucket to what will be gone. Does it cause one drop of sweat or concern on me? Matter of fact, it's almost a point of the further it goes and the more I hear about that is being done now, since there are no lies and feelings of hidden shit coming from inner terror or the subsurfaces anymore, everything I'm told I know has happened. I can verify it myself now. I don't have to have somebody tell me. It's kind of new. It is new for me to be able to, if I have a concern, I go verify it myself on a travel view. Anywhere on this planet, there's nowhere for nobody to hide. There's nowhere for safe for you on this planet if you are a negative, and you're not going any damn where. All those hopes and dreams of, I can tell you what they think. I just saw your post, nonsense. I can tell you what they think. Do weapons. Sound weapons in Australia. Verified. Do weapons in Australia and other countries as part of this war effort. Verified. Governments are going down. They did not cease and desist. And they were notified within my time on the council. So the last 3 years, they were notified. At 6 o'clock this evening, my time, after 20 minutes, the council voted yes. There was not a single dissension of no. The collapse has begun at 6 o'clock tonight. If they can't collapse on their own, they can collapse when they have disappeared from the planet under an option 1. I'm not playing. If you're in the military, you best get out. You best shuck all that military gear and shit, including weapons. You can keep a knife if you need it because there's still negatives. You can keep guns if you need it. But if you use it in a manner of seeking control or power, you will be known. And you will be option 1 without a single word out your mouth. There is no defense for being negative. None. Nobody wants to hear anything out of your mouth. They don't have to have, when you're charged with a crime of terror, you don't get up and talk to a lawyer or a judge. They take you in custody to bring you up in front of the council if it's not on the spot, and you are given the justice of terror. There's only 3 options. Chances are, if you're a surface human, you've just blown past 2 and 3 and are facing option 1. If you're a surface human, I can tell you that right now. You're not going to get an option 2 or 3, which is only pretty much done by lower councils of the locals. You don't have a local on the surface. It's not like an immediate option 1. We don't have to deal with you. But that millisecond where you are erased from existence permanently. And won't nobody shed a damn tear if they got any sense, because you chose it. You chose this. You chose to be a negative individual. Whether you admit it or not, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter anymore. And I don't care, as I said. Such kinds of actions like these fake wildfires. You don't have wildfires that hit only the homes and leave the trees between the houses on the rows of the streets. Wildfires won't leave those trees and hit just the homes. You can find images of this all over the internet. Those are dew weapons. Wildfires may even be started by dew weapons. I'm just saying. It doesn't make sense that we have such large-scale fires in this country all the time. It doesn't make sense. It's not natural. It's not natural. I'm willing to bet there's almost no chances of wildfires unless it's done on purpose by a negative, whether a negative starts it with like arson or something. And yeah, and you know, even if some natural occurrence like lightning causes a wildfire, I do not believe it will spread like these fires that we have had on the surface for decades. And let's not forget the whole the whole microwave weapons that they deemed insufficient as they were only limited to crowds and not a bigger population. So you got to know these things. You must know these things. Considering they've had 80 plus years of notification of terror, only terror, inner and subsurface cultures, we're coming back to the surface and to inform your people of all the things that they were told to inform them of. At the time, it was 4 laws of terror. Now it's 5, one with an amendment. And then there's 5 rules since I became council leader. 1 amendment, 1 law with 1 amendment, and 5 rules since I became council leader. All for improving the surface. Yeah, they've not used those yet. And I wish they'd hit the button for that shit to drop, because we have changed where they will drop. Oh, yes, we have. I've known that for over 1.5 years. We've already changed everything on those things. All they have to do is hit launch. They can't change where it's going anymore. I'll even tell you where they're going. There are 3 countries that have these rods of God shit things. I think we're talking about the same thing. Each country that put those up there and thinks they can move them around to target another country have been retargeted to their capitals of the country. Drop one, please do. U.S., please drop one so it'll hit Washington. Russia, please drop one so it'll hit the Kremlin. And China, I know what you got. I know what you can do. And likewise, it's aimed at you. And I dare you to even do anything about it or say anything about it. I fucking dare you. The 3 most empirical governments on this planet. I dare you to try. I'm that sure. I am that fucking sure. We got a lot of ice outside, about 2-3 inches of icicles now. About done drunk all my drink. I even made mention of the satellites in this emergency meeting, the military satellites. I asked, can we redirect the energy satellite? I mean, these military satellites, coordinated attacks on themselves? And I was told, yes. I said, has it been done? And they said the proverbial flip of a switch, it'll be done. Proverbial flip of a switch, it can be done. See, we only have negative galactic technology from the negative aliens that came to Terra. They don't have the capability, intelligence, and wherewithal to make Terran technology. So you have to imagine that the capabilities that they have over anything the surface could even dream of, even with their advanced shit that they try to hide from the population that we know about, you're still in a losing stance. The only thing you can wage war against is a civilian population. And that's enough to piss me off. The one person on the surface of this planet that you don't want to piss off, you already have. And I'm sick of it. And so I acted. Oh, Larry don't know what he's talking about. Well, let's just fucking wait and see, okay? Let's just wait and see what happens. Some people are talking about, well, in a few days, this country's going to change. It could be true. Could be in a few days, this country changes. It's true. In a few days, this country could be forced to collapse. That's true. What's going to happen? Tick tock, tick tock. Even when you're not hearing it and thinking about it, it's happening. That's like a whole little weight lifted off my back and shoulders, is to know that the Council of Terra is in full support of making this collapse happen now, not just kind of limping along and waiting on their timeline of 2 million year holiday, or anniversary rather, not holiday. The 2 million year mark. They will have the energy restored and be on the surface on that day. That's the only day I'm sure about, but I don't know what day it is. I don't know. And I don't exactly want to know. If they can explain it to me, I don't want to know right now. But there's going to come a time I'm ready. And I'll be ready when they're ready. And I'll put it on this video if we still have power and we still using the internets and whatnot and what all. If it's still available, I will post it. Sure, I will. Why not? And even after such time and period, I'll have the access to the inner Terra, subsurface Terran communication system by way of my shuttle that I have used twice now. Hint. That's a strong hint. I have used it twice now. Since it was approved by council, I've used it twice. I should have used it tonight, but I decided not to because of this nasty weather and the ice and shit. I decided I'd just do a travel view. But that's not so much a big issue anymore since I learned that they have cloaking ability, adjustable option 1 ability, and a team of 2 ASABs as minimum are on this shuttle at all times for a moment's notice from me now. And would IA travel on the counselor ship 1 of 3? They can be here in a minute from where they are currently. All I have to do is message Ben Merkin and say, hey, drop the shuttle. They dropped that shuttle. It's kind of cool, actually. And I can go anywhere on the planet in that shuttle. Anywhere. With IA. Instantaneous ability. IA. In a moment, I can be anywhere on this planet. You don't think I'm going to bear my weight on this situation coming up? Better think again. If an option 1, even from a shuttle, can cover an entire state, you better think again what I might do myself as the council leader of Terra, and nobody will be able to say a fucking thing about it. I'm acting for Terra, not some whiny ass, pitiful remains of a country wailing because I want to end the corruption, the criminal, and the negative. You're not even going to get the wine for a year or more. Just till somebody gets to you, that's all. Is it be me in the ship above? Will it be a Naga? Will it be a raptor, a saurian, or a giant, or a original human? Will it be an Arcturian, or a Tal'Ray, or a Talosian? Or somebody else that I don't know. List all of them. There's 298 different people on this planet. Any one of them. Well, I take that back. There's some aquatics that can't do the ships. They can fly on them. They can fly in them, but they can't run the technology of these ships. And there's 2 species of aquatics that have that and more. Yes, they do. They have their own ships and shit. Which your government knows damn well, full well about, and has known for decades about. Where do you think they got their first messages from? The aquatic beings from the surface that had the ability to go up and down at a speed and rate in which, no, they can't do anything about it. They don't even use the cloak because they know surface can't touch them. We don't have to use the cloak. I'm doing it because Terra doesn't want me flying around on the surface taking care of business myself personally with a ship wide open and marked with Terra symbol in a circle for unity. And know that that's my ship. That's why I have to use cloaking. I don't give a shit. I'm glad it's there. It's not like it can be shut down. But they don't want nobody shooting at it because I'm in it. I've always been a warrior. What's the chance warriors take? As the council leader of Terra, I'm supposed to have that kind of 4 ships rotating, watching over me at all times. 1 up, 3. I mean, 1 down, 3 up at all time. That's the team that's watching me everything I do. I'm not used to that. I should be. I say I am, but I'm not really used to it. Knowing that they're there. It's kind of annoying to me to know that they're not willing to let me do whatever I have to do here. Maybe I want to get out and fight a little bit. I used to do it all the time. I was a soldier. My hobbies are bushcraft and survival stuff, and you can tell that behind me. I mean, I'm always the warrior. I'll die the warrior. Terra doesn't like the use of the words soldier and warrior much. They prefer guardsmen, guarding the people. They're not guarding the council so much as they are guarding the people. That's why they're called defensive Terra personnel. The old word that they used to say was the guards that they would call whenever there was some kind of trouble of inner terror or threats of trouble in the council for what they were fixing to take care of. We don't even have to do that at the council anymore. I can bring up most any topic I can imagine, and I don't have to call for guardsmen anymore. The unity of the people has already happened. There's no more dissension down there of should we integrate the surface? It's already been decided. While I was gone those 8 months, and the 2+ months and 10 days that I've been back. 2 months and 10 days now that I was pretty much recalled back to my duties. I thought I could run away. But they gave me health and wellness time. That's basically what they did. Without telling me, without putting stress on me, they just let me have it. But that's why they've tightened up around me as well. We got to watch Larry. I don't know what Larry might do if he gets a case of the ass. I'm not saying that's a good thing. Knowing that I'll take action and be quick about it, that's not a bad thing. Hopefully I've learned something, though, and I've learned how to control my rage that I had as a youth. I think that helps allow me to have the anger and the being mad that allows me to use what everybody has given me in information to be able to make a decision, a right decision, and then have the energy to act upon that decision faster than most even want to contemplate the problem. The surface can take 10, 15, 20 years and never fix a single problem. Give me that damn problem, see how long it takes. You'll fix it or you'll get the hell out. That's how I do with Terra as well. Since I became council leader and had to go through some of this bullshit as council leader, people didn't like this, they didn't like that, they wasn't sure about this or that. Now they only bring me a problem when they're not really ready to take care of it. They need an answer. If I got it, I'll give it to them. If they can't offer one, they know I might give them one they don't like. I might. So now anymore, I've noticed that when I say, do you have a resolution for this problem? They usually hand me one. And it may not be the one that they like the most, but it's probably the most workable that they can come up with. And sometimes I'll agree with it, but with the information I got, sometimes I won't. And I'll offer another solution that will be carried out instantly amongst the people. And they appreciate that shit. The dilly dallying around of, well, this leader can't make a decision that they have in their council. Get much of that, and I'll remove them like I removed Balan from his position as the Terra Nakin council leader in the local that is below the Middle East right now to India. And his issues with his people wanting to do what he said in the Naga. And now he's gone. He is gone. He's not option one or nothing. He's just not in a position of council membership at that local. Because he failed to find a resolution that would work, and he was partially the cause of the problem. Trying to show favoritism of one people over another people. If I hadn't removed him, I would have probably had given him a violation of dereliction of duty. It's not that he's not smart. He has some very ancient people in that local have some very ancient problems with the Naga. The Naga. For no fucking reason to have any problems with any people on Terra anymore. So these squabbles with the various cultures and ethnicities of the surface, you got even less of a right to have such a squabble. And yeah, I'm calling it a squabble. You don't have a leader good enough to take care of the problem and find an answer, but to kill innocent people? I will remove your leadership. Because they're already negative. I won't have to worry about naming them. They'll already know who they are. So does Terra. That's all I have to say on that. You are known for the work you have done and said your entire life already on the surface of Terra. If you've sat inside some makeshift housing and done nothing, for whatever the fucking reason, you've done nothing but sit there. Maybe you had children. Maybe these children died of hunger while you sat there and ate and kept yourself alive. Do you think you're going to get anything special out of Terra for doing that? Do you think if you haven't shown some sort of effort in making things better for the people in your little community right there, that it's not known? If you are a warlord of a local region or geographical area, and you've taken whatever's come in for your personal benefit for you and your followers, and you've endangered others that are present, do you think we don't know about it? Do you think there's any place on the surface of this planet that it is not known what you have been doing for thousands of years and your progression into being more negative with each passing day? Do you think that's not known? Do you think nobody's watching? You made your choices already. You can't change course at this point in time. I used to say, be positive, you know, be of this and that and the other thing. Now, I'm not going to tell you that shit. It's too late for you. If you're not already living a life of positivity and done enough to make up for anything you've ever done, it's too late for you. Hello? I heard you laughing. Yes, I know who you are. Yes, I do. I wouldn't miss that sound for anything. You've been around in a long time. Yes, ma'am. You haven't been around in a long time. Did Hermes tell you to come? He did. Yes, ma'am. I thank you for coming. I'm talking to High Priestess Anne, Hermes' wife, with a child, an 8D original human child. He's here as well. I can tell he's beneath you. He's in front of you, but you're both here. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. He did. Yes, ma'am. I hear you. Or is the situation with Hermes being a grandfather any kind of an issue now? I'm just curious. I've never known a in life and a grandmother-grandfather status team. You're the first I've ever known. That's just how it is, isn't it? It is what it is. He's there. That's all that you care is that he's there now. Did you know? Yeah, this is what got you brought up into the conversation with Hermes the other day. Did you know, or did you did you receive any communication from him while he was in limbo? You did not. You didn't receive any communication from him even until after he became grandfather. I didn't either. Not until Maltma told me about it. I didn't know anything. Now I'm getting people kind of regular like every couple of days seems like there's somebody that may need assistance crossing over or crossing up. I just kind of have starting to lose count. It's my duty, yes, my duty. Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to remember how to say his name right, this new word for a name. I haven't had the opportunity to use it yet. It's like Hermes with my name just in front. So Larames, Larames. My brother makes you my sister, makes him like a nephew. Hermes is the only brother I've ever had. And so Ben Merkin is a brother, and so is his wife, Maggie May, or Maggie Med, I'm sorry, and their child that I still don't know the name of. And then you got Persephone, and I don't know her name of her child either, but that's okay. When the mothers feel like telling me, I'll accept it, whatever it is. Family, my inner Terra family. Yeah. Okay, you got information from me. Okay. When is this? Tomorrow. Where is this at tomorrow? Uh, tomorrow morning? It's tomorrow morning? When to what time? Yeah. Uh, yes, ma'am. And you'll both be there in Hermes. The whole Inner Terra family will be there. Even my descendants from previous, that Ray and his wife and child, and the other one. I can't remember the other one's name. Yeah, that one. Yeah. I need to put that name in here. Hold on just a moment, please. And will you? I got to scroll down and find the name. I may have to go to that other spreadsheet. I got to redo it. Okay. It's on the other spreadsheet. I'll add it later. I don't want to change this one right now. I want to stay on this one. I guess no. I thought I saw something. I got snow in the light out there. Yes. Huh? You've never seen snow? Yes, you can look. The shine in the trees is icicles in the power line. See right there on the power line? Yeah, them's icicles up on the power line. And now it's snowing. Yes. You've never, well, y'all don't have snow and ice in Inner Terra. That's why. Y'all have never been cold and you've never been hot. Y'all got a lot to get used to if you come to the surface. But then again, eventually when you come to the surface, we're gonna take care of that too, aren't we? For growing year-long growing seasons. Wow. I know the whole planet, year-long growing seasons again. I've heard about this. Yes, I've heard about it. It's what weather technology is supposed to be done with, not used as a weapon by surface humans. It's supposed to be year-long growing seasons, rain when necessary. When necessary, just to grow stuff. Tropicals most everywhere. Tropical type. Grow anything. Yes. Yes, ma'am. I know about it. So I should be down there at least by 8:30 then to give me prep time. Do you have a moment? Are you in a hurry? Okay. Just a moment, please. Bemerken. Yeah. Hey, I need to drop down to the shuttle by 8:30 in the morning. No, that's all. I just found out about it because High Priestess Anne is here telling me what's going on tomorrow. You didn't know if I knew? Well, I know now. You're going to come down on the shuttle and go with me? Really? At 8:30? That's awesome. I look forward to that. I do. Okay. Van Merkin notified. Yes, ma'am. That's easy. That's easy stuff anymore for me now. Yes. Huh? Yes, ma'am. Um, no, I haven't. I haven't talked to your mother in a long time. I need to see her tomorrow, specifically. High Priestess Prantha. 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 Yeah. I remember the name. I don't have to scroll down on the thing. I remember the names. Most of the time, I remember all the names, especially the surface humans. I mean, the original humans, yes. The original humans, I usually remember their names if I've made contact. I don't know why I said surface humans. It's okay. I'm getting old. I'm not old to y'all, but I'm old to the surface. My old man. Just an old pervert. You like that? I'm just an old gnarly ass pervert. Yes, ma'am. I hear you, little man. I hear you now. Really? Wow. He's not that old, and I can hear him plain as day. You have to ask your mother that. Yes. This is awesome. I've never spoken to your son. Hermes told me he's going straight out into the temple. And he's not even a year old. He's not even a year old. This is the new born 8D original humans. I haven't met any, This is my first time. So he's not even a year old, and he knows languages. He knows a lot. Plus what he was born knowing. He's ahead of me already. Yes, you are. You are. There he is. Watch. Watch. Yes. Did you got it? Wow. Wow. Thank you, Anne. This was very nice. All of it's very nice. This, yeah, I'm looking at monitors right quick, making sure nothing's changed. Mm-hmm. I'll be there tomorrow morning, sometime right around 8:30 my time. As soon as the shuttle drops, I'll go out and get on the shuttle and drop down. You like that? I can bring that and wear that tomorrow. It's kind of like a priest robe, isn't it? A temple priest robe, but it's not. But it's not. True, it's not. I will have it on tomorrow. Or I'll bring it to wear tomorrow, put it that way. I keep it folded in a bag. So I can grab that bag whenever I go out to get on the shuttle in case I need it. I'm going to start using it like when Drishan wore a robe in council. It's like his, but not like his too. Yeah, mine has a hood. His didn't have a hood. I'll wear it. I ordered it from someplace in California. Someplace in California. It took over a month to get here. Yeah, it did. Took over a month. I ordered it at the end of November. I just got it like a week ago. Um, I think it was a week ago. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. hmm I might have used it. I think I just used a picture on video so far. I don't know if I've worn it on a video, but it's for taking down with me when I go down on shuttles. That's why I ordered it. If I'd have known that piece of embroidery looked like it did and went around the hood and down, I might would have sealed if they could have just put something else there, maybe. But it's okay. It's nice looking. You thought so? I didn't even know you were there. You were there? And you've seen the picture on the videos and my other what you saw it there as well. So they've did what? That is the not that picture. I'll get another picture later. Use that one, the one that I'm going to give you, not the one that I took. It could have been I could have been somewhere else or had something better behind me than this. Yes, I took it on the laptop. Yeah, maybe I'll get Rhonda to take one. Me standing somewhere else, perhaps outside on my when the weather's nice. When it's not ice and snow because it sucks. But yes, I'll get one, and you can get it offline. I'll make sure it's online so you can get it because they'll get everything anyway. They always do. Yes, ma'am. It needs to work the other way where I can get their stuff and bring it to the surface. We need that soon. They're working on it. I know they're working on it. I've got a whole uh, Arcturian team on it. Not a team of family, but a team as in technicians. Technicians. Yes, ma'am. I'm glad you came. Thank you for coming. I'm honored. I'm honored. Thank you. Little man, I'll see you again. I'll see you again. Anytime. You need something, you call me. Yes, Ann. If y'all need something, call me. Thank you. Wow. I wish y'all could have got that conversation. Wow. Those this family of interstellar, this in my local, these surface humans that I am linked to through past uh, in our incarnations and such, is holding um, an event tomorrow in the local at the temple, and I've been asked to come down and attend. So Van Merkin's bringing the shuttle down with the ASABs, and they're going to put it into the history data of all of Terra to watch. So I better be on my P's and Q's and be really nice, I guess, huh? Anyway, sounds like something I should attend. So I called Van Merkin, notified him, made a note about it all. Some descendants and ancestors event down there. All the ancestors that can and all the descendants that can. So I imagine I'm going to meet people I've never seen before. Imagine. So I know there's more than I've met. The one guy was the one original human that I met, I guess it's been about 2 years ago, was Larry and his team and his son, who was right at 100 years 2 years ago. He was about to be completed of his basic education at 100 years old of an Interterran, which is, an original human of Interterra, which is, so I'm not even 63. And he's been going to school for 100 years. A year ago. Of course, I look like I'm 63, and they look like little children. But they have a knowledge that far exceeds mine. And they have all the abilities of 8s and 7s and 8s, mostly 8s now. Most original humans are now 8s. They're even being born as 8s. As these three are, these three children were born 8s. High Priestess Anne's child, Maggie Met's child, and Persephone's child are all 8s. 8D. So even if they come to the surface humans are not going to see them without this technology they're working on. You may see things happening around and not know, why is this happening? Why is that happening? Well, Terra. Okay? When they're coming to the surface, you may or may not see everything. But they're making the technology from Charles Lund, and then they're going to produce, having to do what Charles done so he can see everything of Interterra. When that device is perfected, they're going to be making these in mass production for the surface. It's just something you wear on your clothing, okay? It needs to touch your skin, though. If it touches your skin, it works with your body chemistry and shit. That's about all I know. Your body chemistry of a 3D until we really become 5D. And even then, at 5D, you may not see some of these people at some of their densities. I'm like Drishan. I don't need the device to see. Council leaders don't have to have these devices. It's something they're born with that kind of like awakens. I talk about these buds, a bud of ability, okay? Now, some open a little bit in the coming times if you don't already have a little bit of an ability of something. And it'll start opening more later. As the negatives decrease on the surface, they'll open more. When there's nobody going to question what you can see or what you can do, they'll open some more. Because you have to have confidence within yourself. You have to have positivity. You have to have love and compassion and empathy. And you have to have knowledge. And they're mostly born with knowledge as instincts. The original humans, they have so many instincts that we would take as knowledge and education. They're born with it. Been being born with it for couple million years. But there are some things they have to learn. And they give them about 100 years of our kind of time down there in Inner Terra, and they're still children, because they grow so slowly, see? They're still children, but they'll have that. Larry and me will have more knowledge and information and abilities than any surface human. Right now, he does. I sent him some energy for just to see what he would do. When I held my arm out like that, he picked up on it and returned it. Could I have done that? And he's barely a year old? There's no way. I couldn't do that till I was 50 years in my 50s. Could send energy. I was in my 50s. He's 100-year-old. I mean, he's a less than a year old original human child, and he already has all this information. He has abilities already awakened. He just has to learn how to use them all in a positive manner. Not that he has negativity about him. It's impossible as he's an 8D, but that makes me think of something. You know what has never happened in the last 3 years I have been involved in original humans? Not one original human has had to face punishment of an option 1. Not one. I mean, there have been some crossover. There's been some that have ticked me off, but it doesn't mean I could punish them. Tokoro was one. Tokoro pissed me off pretty good one time. But even after he explained himself, it wasn't his reason that I was ticked off about. It was that he tried to get in my way about something. He wasn't really on board at the time, you could say. But I mean, if I scroll up this spreadsheet of contacts right here with everybody I know in Inner Terra, not one original human has ever been option 1. Not one. That means they haven't violated the laws of Terra in the 3 years that I've known these people. Not one. I've got 2 Arcturians. I've got a Telosian. The 27 Pleiadians that one time, 27 at one time. That was my first deal with me having to declare an option 1 on people. Was 27 in that group. So I went there and witnessed the option 1 of 27 individuals. I hope I never have to see something like that again. It's the realization of being present and then being present and then nothing. Just absolutely no. I had never seen it before. And I'll never forget it. They were standing there looking at me, just kind of no emotions, no smiles, no nothing, just standing there. And before I could blink my eyes, they were gone. While I had my eyes open and looking, they were just there and then not. And that is the strangest sensation I've ever felt in my life. Knowing that was what an option 1 was. Learning that that's what's going to happen to a lot of surface humans. They're going to be there, and then they're not. And you never get to say a word. Doesn't do you any good. It's not going to help you out. It's not going to get you any leniency. So there's no need. So you're not given the opportunity either to whine and cry and carry on. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. I haven't seen it happen or heard of it happening yet. But that doesn't mean once the surface humans know about it that they won't. I'm expecting that already. Those that haven't paid attention have laughed even, have messaged me and talking about it. And I could feel their emotions when they typed it. Yeah, I can do that. You type something, I get the emotions in your mental state at the time. It's not something I desire. Sometimes it would be best if I did not. Because I can reach out. And that's not a good thing. That I can reach out. I don't think I'm going to need this spreadsheet no more tonight. I do want to go back to the top and save it. And close it. Poof, on my third monitor. No, there's nothing there on that window. An hour and 31 minutes. I got 9 cents was in chat. Nobody else. I answered everything he wanted to know, I guess. I think I did. I've given the summary of the third emergency Council of Terra meeting, the summary, because I didn't do the live video, because I didn't know what to expect. Since it was a travel view, I could have done a live video like I do on even communications and stuff. And you'll get the idea of what's going on. Or that's what I hope's happening, that you can figure out what's going on. That's how it works. Maybe one day they'll give me something I can hook to my computers up here that'll help pick up on dimensional sound, mental communications, and put it all on the video for you. Otherwise, we're going to need terror and technology on the surface with those little adapters, those little devices that you put on your clothing, on your skin side of your clothing, so you can hear and see other people of other densities and frequencies on this planet. Ta-da! I can't wait until every positive surface human has this device and can see and hear what I see and hear. I'd make that tomorrow and hand it out tomorrow if I could. I sure as hell would. But I can't. They haven't perfected one device enough to say this is it. And if they do, will we need communication devices that they have been making and storing in the caverns of Terra and subsurface colonies for years? And now they're making education devices. So you can, if you are lucky enough to get one of those, instead of getting job training on their technology, you can sit in it. Basically, the device, basically, you hold it and you slowly, some kind of how technology-wise, you can absorb the information of the education device. It's not like you sit there and talk with it and ask questions. You learn it by holding it. You can learn every duty that's ever possibly going to be necessary to everything that's known today by the Terran civilization by just taking time and holding this device. The problem is there's not a lot of them. So it's probably going to have to start with the people that are chosen to be in the councils on the surface, which may not include surface humans for a short time until they get up to speed. If that's the way to say that, that's how I've been saying it here lately. You're going to have to get up to speed on the Terran people, the Terran laws, how councils work, before you can serve on the council. And don't think there's going to be a negative sneak through and end up on this council. They are, what's the word? Surface humans will have to be evaluated prior to entrance into any council building. I have heard that, because you're not trusted. Surface humans as a population are not trustable right now. Because not everybody wants to have to examine a surface human for positivity or negativity. There's people trained for this. They have to be trained to understand why this is necessary and what happens after the ship or crew or patrol. They will have patrols out eventually trying to find some of these negatives that think they're hiding, but they are found, but you have to get in closer for some reason. So there will be patrols of the guardsmen armed, and the guardsmen that can ride on these 3 council leaderships that I have. They're all armed. They are basically will be untouchable, just like the ships. And to retaliate in any way, shape, or form violates the laws of Terra. Why would you? This makes no sense. It's not rational. You are negative if you would do such a stupid thing. Or why would you? Your life is going to go into like as close to something akin to perfection as you can ever imagine. Why would you not want that? But you would rather hear from a negative about being controlled and then your life ending in misery and suffering, though you think you're in blissful awareness. I don't understand that kind of shit. I really don't understand it. I done been through it all. I studied it for decades before I finally said, I don't even want to be a minister. I don't even want to, after I went to seminary and all for the church and became a pagan heathen minister of healing, I didn't even want to do that anymore because the people were undeserving. Were undeserving. Simple as that. Undeserving of the time it would take me to help them out. They're undeserving. So I pretty much have gave up that side of me, that part of what I know to do and how to do and can do at any moment's notice. I'm just like, I got bigger fish to fry, you know? Yes, I agree. When you know you're being controlled in a manner in which you don't really have any kind of gain by it, you are controlled by a negative. That they pay you some minimal wage and then tax the shit out of you on everything that you buy. Everything that you buy and own, they seek a tax and will retax you on the same thing that they've already taxed you on every year, as long as you own it, your home and your vehicles and such, your property. Every year you get another tax because you're able to keep it. It's a punishment that you were able to keep it, and so you pay a tax. You still have this, you owe taxes. How ignorant. What an ignorant fucking negative system we have allowed to come into being on the surface of this planet when there's no need for it. There's no need for it. The sheer fact that it's been happening for millions of years in inner Terra and the subsurface of this planet proves that we don't need these systems that exist on the surface of Terra. and they're going away, as they rightfully should. They should have a long time ago. Terrans should have done something about this surface a long time ago. Damn sure not nearly 2 million years later. And I have told them so at every opportunity. To delay anything now, to not be constantly striving to quicken the pace every day, is not right. I'm looking every day, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? From where I sit on the Council of Terra, and not by choice. Y'all need to remember that's not by choice. If I'd have known what was coming, I don't know where I could have run to, but I'd have ran. I'm sorry, I'd have ran. I never wanted all this. Those that were here from the start know that. I struggled hard telling Drishun no, and Lockman no, and Hermes no. Every single chance and opportunity I got where they asked me to do something, no, I'm not doing that. Look at me now. We all have choices. But to enter terror, the only choice has to and must be a positive choice. It just must be. If it's positive, it'll always be the right choice. You know? It'll always be the right choice. You may not know it's the right choice. You might not have an awareness that you need to have. Especially when everything's fucking new to you. You know, I get it. I've been there, done that. But with time and understanding and openness, without closing off your mind and saying, no, I will not participate, which I did, of course, you know, by saying I'm not doing this. No, 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 no. Look at me now. See, the point of that is, even when I had rage, they said I didn't have rage as a negative factor. I had rage as a part of my being chosen to be on council. It was my particular way of dispensing my rage was of justice. And I was like, really? Remember, I was told this not long ago in video. I recorded that where I was told that my rage was not a negative rage. I'm still having problems accepting that because everybody says, oh, you got rage. That's a problem. Well, was it deserved? Did you do something that let that rage be unleashed upon you? See? Because that's the only way the surface humans have. Now, it's not going to be long, but it is for now. How do you fight? How do you deal with brutality? You don't put them in a prison and lock them up for a profit for prison, or prison for profit. I said that backwards. If you can't be educated, and we know rehabilitation does not work, the only solution you have for a negative being is an action, a punishment action. And if the only action you have is basically to beat the hell out of them, then that's what they get. You brought it upon yourself. And yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I will say that when I went into the military, it helped with my rage. I learned discipline better, even though I was serving in the military, a negative entity thing. I learned discipline there that I didn't have because of my childhood. But with that discipline, I learned new ways of punishing people. I learned, for instance, if you're going after somebody that is rich for justice, the most sure way to hurt that individual wasn't physical at all. It was to cost them hugely, hugely. If the individual's most treasured thing is to be respected for whatever, the military intelligence people would tell you that's the clue on what to go after. Ruin their reputation, make them lose respect among the people. And that's what I did. Whatever somebody had as a weakness from 1982 forward to 1991, while I was in service, the government taught me how to be an expert at it. I know it well. And now I know why it was such a thing for me to say, this individual needs something more than being told you're wrong and him laughing back at you while he walks away. Something more. And I really didn't understand what that something more was about at the time. I mean, you couldn't always base right and wrong in law because sometimes the laws ain't even right and wrong. The laws are just a bunch of mess to satisfy somebody for some event that happened in the past that probably doesn't even work any longer after they wrote the damn law. It's probably unenforceable too. I mean, we got libraries of books and laws and things that are costing you for punishment and shit, but how much of it do they enforce? Could you fill a book? Could you fill one book with everything that they really work on now of applying? Or do they pick and choose as just a manner in which they can punish you as an individual with something you might not even know what it is? They might not even tell you what it is. The way our government has gotten, the U.S. government has gotten, and I know it's worse around the world than it is here because it's starting to become a part of normalcy in this country now. To punish an individual by way of government and media. Oh, yeah, the media. Surface human media. They're as much a part of the government as anything else anymore. If it's not approved by the government, they can't put it on there. You go to YouTube, if it's not approved, eventually they'll block your ass and take you off and ban you from YouTube and other websites and social media and such, any way you have of contacting people. Isn't it strange that I know I'm on here today and I'll be on here tomorrow and I'll be on here the next day if I choose. And I'm not worried about it anymore. Oh, sure, they put me a warning on once or twice or three times, gave me a warning because they didn't like something I said. But they were not going to remove me, did they? And neither did Facebook. And neither did Instagram. Or any other forum I've ever been on remove me. And why is that? Why is that? Because I'm damn sure pretty blatant about what I think about and what I see happening and what I am working within a terror and making happen. I'm pretty blatant and obvious about it. I don't talk in riddles and shit, I don't think. If I talk it at all on the videos, when I'm talking collapse of governments in a global fashion, and when it's not happening fast enough to suit me, I go down to Inner Terra and hold an emergency council meeting and I declare we have to make the collapse happen because it's too slow. They're doing things they don't need to be doing upstairs on the surface of this planet. And they said yes, without a single hand raised in vote of no. Not a single one. One hour and 50 minutes on the video. It is 8:41 my time. It is sleeting now. There's no snow right now. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's cold. I got that little heater over there been running over there. There's a backup heater in this room all freaking day. That's not normal. Damn sure not normal for the area I live in. But it's been so cold for so long that we can't keep the house warm. Even on 70, 71, we can't keep the house warm. The fuck? And ain't I glad we fixed the roof the other day before all this rain and sleet and snow happens, this event right here. And there's another one coming behind it next week, they say. It's going to be even stronger. Ain't we glad that, or ain't I glad that we fixed this roof this week? Where we got some kind of damage on the roof that was leaking on that last big rain we had from the hurricane. We had one big rain after that, and we had a roof leak. Had to fix it. Sometimes it's nice to know people that can do things for you, not necessarily working with the system. A small amount of currency, a small amount of trade and barter, and I have my roof fixed. If he had agreed, I would have done it all with no currency. I'm trying to help the fellow out. He needed some money, and he needed some barter and trade. I had what he needed. He had the ability to do what I can't do anymore, climb up the ladder and get on top of the house with all my problems and shit. And my dizzy spells and my wobbleness and my being so slow. And how many people have a problem where it's part of my disability, I'm assuming, everything you do starts getting in slow motion. You go to reach out to get something, and it's like, and you pick up a cigarette lighter. Many people have that problem and see that. And it happens that way. Or you go to take a step, and you actually think you've done spent 20 minutes taking one step. How weird is that? What's a problem I've been having that's recent to me? Slowing down of time. It's a new problem. On top of all my other aches and pains and lung problems and bone joint problems, etc. And now, this afternoon, when I wasn't on video, while I awaited my counsel, I had a communication. I'm being told, since I'm going forward with all this other council leader stuff that I have not done, that I can and will and must and should. I'm going to quotation mark that because I didn't say it. Plan on going down for an entire day of medicals. A year and a half ago, I would have said no. I would have said no. Not yet. Not until it's up on the surface. No. But now things are a little different. Now I have the feel, support, and weight of Terra behind me and some very ancient individuals They're showing me that I am wrong not to take care of myself in a manner that allows me to perform the duties of council leader. So it's no longer a good thing to say, I'll wait till the surface has it. I have a problem with that still. I want to wait till the surface has it, but everybody down there is telling me down there, and by down there I mean all of Terra that is not surface, is telling me, go ahead and take whatever they tell you to take as far as medical treatments from inner Terra. So after tomorrow morning, I will have to pick me a day and spend the whole day down there. A whole day. I haven't done a whole day down there yet by ship or any other means in this lifetime. This makes me nervous. I have no doubt about abilities that they have. I've seen the abilities they have. I have seen Charles Lund repaired and looked like nothing ever happened to him, but I know it did. I saw him then, and I see him now. And I know how his mind has been restored and where he could have gone with what happened to him. He could have lost his shit permanent. And it would have been under an understanding of anybody that has gone through his experience. But not only did they heal his body, they healed his mind. And now I want for the surface what Charles Lund got. Body healing, mind and spirit and soul wellness increased. Longevity increased. And eventually we will return to the longevity that all inner Terra and original humans have. And we have the ability at this time to be those people. The sooner I get Terra up on the surface and integrated and united Terra, the sooner we will have the same chances for the future. And that's the whole point, isn't it? To have normal lives, and we don't know what normal is. We can't even remember what normal was. Pre-negative world surface. We can't even remember that time. And I know you can't. And that just makes me all the more determined to make sure that it happens. Not next year, not even end of the year. If I could make it tomorrow morning, it would be tomorrow morning when you wake up. But I can't speed things up that damn much, or it would already be happening. But what I can do is I can increase every what do you call it? Every bullet of the plan of what has to be done to make surface become integrated into Terra. Each bullet, I think I like that using bullet. Every bullet of the plan, I want to see action on right now. And I do not know all the bullets yet. But I am to attend a reintegration committee meeting next Thursday morning. Thursday morning. It's on the note. Thursday morning. And later in the morning, I have a doctor's visit. And the surface. That's kind of funny if I'm going to meet the medicals sometime soon of Inner Terror to have a doctor's appointment Thursday next week. I might have to call him and say, I cancel. But I doubt I'll have it before then. So I'm going to have to do both. That really sucks. But anyway. See, the point of Terra is not to have control, but to have beings that are members of Terran society that don't need control. That's why there was only a minimum of 4 laws when I became part of the council. But there were problems spreading by the individuals that were dealt with. There were committing acts that were called dereliction of duty. And so that's why we named that law dereliction of duty. Simple, right? 5 laws now instead of 4, and 1 amendment to those laws since I've been recalled. It's on the new laws. They were updated the same time it was passed in the council. If surface humans who work in medicals and pharmaceuticals do not cure, they do not touch. It's automatically criminal. You can save a life until you get them to proper medical, but you do not engage in medicals. You do not administer pharmaceuticals ever again when Terra is on the surface. Dereliction of duty, law 5. If you're a doctor and you do not cure, you are not a doctor. You understand? And there is nothing a surface human gets that cannot be cured. Nothing at all. And you will not be cutting people apart and putting in metallic joints and other joints and shit like that, like I've had done to me. They consider that a horror. That I've got metal knees, and they say they're going to take them out and replace them and grow bones back. I've already been told this. I've been told the ones in my back are going to be removed and I'm going to be healed. I've been told this as well. How do you regrow sections of legs and knees that are gone? Well, the same way you do any injury in Inner Terra. You heal it and cure it. Cure it means you regrow it. How nice does that sound? You have an injury where you're maimed in some fashion. Maybe you broke your back and you're paralyzed. Inner Terra will regrow that. When we are part of the United Terra, they'll regrow it. You will not be paralyzed for life. You won't be blind for life. You won't be deaf for life, and you won't be speechless for life. Those are all things that can be repaired with inter-terran subsurface technologies. They are so far advanced of us, it's ridiculous. Any injury you have, they heal and regrow. They don't replace. They heal and you regrow whatever injury you have when you are living properly. When you are living free of negativity that limits you and shortens your lifespan and causes your mind to not function at the highest capacity level which you can. And you can because you are descended from original humans, not monkeys and apes like these others. You were descended from the original humans. Anything they can do, we will eventually achieve again, though we may retain our physical, skin tones. We may. We may retain our hair like we have it. We may. And our variances in eye colors. We may keep that. I don't know. But what I do know is I have been told, we will regain longevity. as near perfect health as any human can have. You still have an exploration of your body, but it is not within less than 100 years when their children are just finishing the temple. We have already aged so fast of our bodies that at 100 years we are old and may have organs failing if we're not already deceased. They say that's a shame of negativity. That's a shame of negativity. That's what they call that. And you have it by way of mutation from the negatives that came to Terra because of the radiation and the chemicals that we use and the chemicals we use in our food and everything else that's going away. You will achieve long life and probably more long life than you ever imagined in an existence of various levels, not just in body level, various levels. Remember, first elder grandmother of the original humans. Okay? Yes, she's a grandmother, but she is the highest level of grandmother that there is on this planet. When she comes in the community of Terra, which is why she started staying home, everybody that bows, not out of authority figure, but sheer respect for her age, knowledge, and wisdom. I mean, you don't bow and hold it or nothing. You do whatever you do. It shows your way of giving her the sign of respect that she deserves. Do you want me to tell you approximately how old she is in her existence? She was here when the Naga, the negative Naga, left this planet. Does that ring any bells? Have I not said how far back long ago the Naga left this planet? I can't remember if I have exactly or not. But she was a child, or so she was a child, when the dinosaurs were still on this planet 65 million years ago before. When the Naga was trying to make this a reptilian planet, the negative Naga that were here at the time and tried to create 4 negative indigenous Earth, Terra, reptilian beings with intelligence and shit, she was here in body. And she was 5D at that time. That far back in our history. And she still exists. She is the oldest original human remaining. And she says she's going nowhere anytime soon. You could probably count on that. Grandmothers usually cross over when they're ready. She's not ready. Her vitality level that day she came to the Council of Terra to stop them from voting to make surface humans a new species, declare them feral and negative. You should have seen her straighten up and rise to meet the challenge that was presented in front of her. I can never imagine myself achieving such a thing. Never. It's like Drishon and his people from that kind of time ago. The first beings on this planet from somewhere else. Drishon was a part of 9 of his people that came here. And they all died the same day. The day they bequeathed council leadership to me. Drishon and Meshon All 9 died that day. The weight of that is upon me. And I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to deal with it. So I don't. I just accept the fact that all 9 are gone now. For the first time in such an awful long time, predating first elder grandmother, predating her, they're all 9 are gone. It is such a loss. And surface humans know nothing of this loss. And all the loss of these extreme ancient beings that are on this planet, still of various people, that they never come out in public anymore. They just happy to sit in their abode, their dwelling of Inner Terra right now. Most of them are in Inner Terra. And they sit there and think and send out messages to people when they have something to say. They're not into traveling. Hell, they done been everywhere. Where is it to go? And I have been told that the last place they ever want to see is a ruined surface of Terra. A ruined surface of Terra. Because they know that's what exists today. If that don't shake you up down to your most inner bones, you're not human. You're not human. And it's little wonder that some of peoples of Inner Terra wanted to declare surface humans another species, feral, negative, wild even, unintelligent, not intelligent enough to be considered a member of Terra at this time. From where we descended from original humans to the point we are today, we're not even in the running as a people. You don't think that shakes my guts inside the marrow of my bones and has it vibrating at a level of something's got to be done right now? Did we let this happen to ourselves by not getting rid of the negative sooner? That this is what we have to be descendants of original humans and have descended to the point we are today? If you don't understand that, if that doesn't concern you, the entire reason they wanted to classify us as a separate species and keep the Terrans off the surface for right now, which was that original organization that they were fighting a year and a half ago, until I left and got, because I was so mad and I was falling apart. They did not want the surface humans reintegrated. They wanted them classified as a separate species, feral and negative and unintelligent. And they were going to put ships strategically around the planet of large and XL ships. And they were going to blink the entire surface, every man, woman, and child, whether they had any positivity or not. Every living human on the surface of this planet would have been gone. And they can do that in less than an hour. We've done it to other planets in less than an hour of negative species that inhabited another world. We blinked the entire planet over a year and a half ago. We have that technology. The option one is that strong on these ships. Sometimes it takes more than one ship. No more than 3 for the planet of this size. And nobody would be living on the surface of this planet as in surface humans. It's getting late. 2 hours and 14 minutes. It is 9:05. I'm getting tired. And nobody's in chat. If you don't understand the ramifications of our situation at this particular time, and you see what our governments and individuals in our government are doing and saying, and you don't have a swell of anti-negative within your body, you need to be gone, and you will be. And it started at 6 o'clock tonight. So it's been 3 hours and 5 minutes into it. Well, by 6:20, the vote was held and done. It was done, and I was on my way back home from a travel view. It's 6:20. So basically from 6:20. So you wait a little bit and you'll have 3 full hours that it's been initiated. This ridiculous shit that's been on the surface of this planet for 450,000 years with the arrival of the Anunnaki is finally going to be terminated. And if it wasn't for my Terran part of me, I would say with extreme prejudice, because they're going after these planets of these beings now. Every ship, every planet, every other world that they have conquered, they are set to eradicate the negatives of all of these things. And if it's a conquered world, they do attempt the galactics that have been freed or attempting to not harm the indigenous of a world, but take out the negatives in whatever manner they have to do it in. Because we have Terra and the solar system has not decided to give option 1 technology to the galactics, so they might would one day return and use it upon us. We have not given out the option 1 technology, the trash cleanup stuff. That's what it started out as, and it grew into something that they could take out anything as trash. Even beings, negative beings, violators of the laws of Terra. This technology was originally called, in my words, kind of thing, taking out the trash. If you are a criminal, you're deemed trash. You're dealt with no emotions, no nothing. You don't deserve it. And you're not going to get it from Terra. Whether it's Terra as a council, Terra as me, or the peoples of Terra, it's immaterial. Your time is over. And the sooner the better. Had your run. Your run stems from the collapse of the surface by the attacks of the negative species that came to this planet, first of which was the Anunnaki. And that's why Terra seeks the elimination of the Anunnaki and their draconian Siakar and all their other species involved with them. Terra and the solar system seek justice by way of extinction. They want to rid this entire galaxy of the negatives. And now they've got galactics joining forces, but they still can't come inside the Terra, the solar system boundaries of the twin sun and here, our sun. Because we don't trust them yet enough to let them back in our solar system. That's just how it is. You can be freed, but you don't have to be trusted yet. See? See how that works? Terra herself supports this, I have been told. Terra herself and the 6 others that I'm supposed to meet on the 22nd demand that we punish the negatives that came here. And so we will. We will punish them by way of option 1 and take out the trash of their entire negative species in this galaxy. Eventually, and inside the solar system, the surface of Terra is the last stronghold of negativity in this entire solar system. The last stronghold of negativity is the surface of Terra in this entire solar system. Has been for over a year and a half. Has been for over a year and a half. They know it. And all the planets inside this solar system and all the colonies on asteroids and moons and etc., they all know that the surface of Terra has nothing but negative surface humans and that they must be eradicated as soon as possible. And so they will be as soon as possible. 2 hours and 21 minutes. It is now 9:12 in the evening, and it's still sleeting. It is going to be some kind of ice storm by tomorrow morning. So I'm glad for everybody that came to watch this video and gather some information. I hope you return and get whatever you might have missed, because this is the big one. This is one of the big videos. The Council of Terra has deemed initiate the plan for the eradication of negatives on the surface. That's what come out of tonight's emergency hearing. The governments and every other organization, be no more mass slaughter and wars on this planet. And we're going to fix that shit starting tonight at 6:20 p.m. And it'll stop when there are no more negative beings on this planet. I thank you for listening. This is Larry Fulmer, and I'm out of here. I need to go rest. Click 1, click 2, click 3.